Hello, hello, hello! This is Caleb from Practical Daz Advice, and today I'm going to show you how to make a reflection of your character in a window. That way, the viewer can see the expression on the character's face and see what the person is looking at. It's not too hard, but it's a real pain if you don't know how to do it. So, first thing is we're going to drop our prop. I'm going to use one that is already kind of set up as a window. You can do it with anything because we're going to be using some shaders that come with Daz Studio. So you should be able to do this with just about anything. I'm going to use a very specific item because it's easier. So this is my window. We're not going to use that glass, but I like that it's separated out as a material, so it makes things easier to begin with. First thing we're going to do is we're going to shrink it. We're going to shrink it by about 60%. Then we're going to bring it up and over and about like that. And then we're going to tilt it just ever so much, about like that. We're going to tilt it because what's going to happen is when we set our lights, it's going to, we want the reflection, we want to set up our camera something like this. And so we want the viewer, the figure to be seen here, and then the reflection to be seen over here. So that's why we're setting it up like that. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our lights. So we're going to use advanced lights, and I'm going to use a 3-point light setup. So an ambient light as my filler light and 2 advanced spotlights, 1 for the hair light, 1 for the key light. So I'm going to put the key light at 100% to the left of him, like this. I want to try and keep this area dark and this area bright. That's part of what makes the reflection. Second advanced light is going to be the hair light. So I'm going to pull it back, select it so I can see, and I'm going to stick it at his butt. That's where I want to aim it, is right at his butt. And then the last is the ambient light, or my fill light, which we're going to bring up to roughly face level. I'm going to put it between him and the glass. A little higher. Further back. And we're going to put that to 50%, or 40% actually. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our camera. So we're going to create a new camera. We're going to use a long lens configuration, and the reason why we're going to use a long lens is because that is going to draw the background towards the foreground and flatten it a bit, so that's going to make our reflection look much closer to the subject. So with a long lens, you put the frame width to 210, and I want to be a little more. And then I'm going to stop it. Zoom in. There, perfect. Just set that up. So. Come in a bit. More. a little bit, because reflections go up usually. Depending on where you have your lights, the way we have our lights, the reflection's going to go up a little bit. About there. Okay, now we're ready to mess with the glass. I want to save what we've done. So go to shaders, select the glass, go to presets, then under shaders, glass, double click on glass. Alright, then we'll go back to editor, and we're going to change a lot of these settings. So we're going to put it to white for color. This is going to be 50%. That at 50%. This is going to be completely black. We're going to leave that alone. We're going to move that down to 50, 50, 50. Boom, like that. We're going to click on parameter settings. We're going to remove the limits and put that to 10. We're going to bump this up to 3. And very important, multiply through opacity on. Okay? That's what's going to give you the reflection. You're going to have a hard time finding reflection without the multiply through opacity. So, let's save again and give this a little quick test render. And that's looking excellent from the first go. That looks great. Have good definition. We can probably mess with the lights, mess with the camera a little bit. Be careful with the index of reflection, because that's just bending the light. You see to where it's grabbing this over here already. You pump that up too much and it will start swirling in, but you can't have it all the way down or it won't pick up anything at all. Let me move that so you can... These are the settings you want. I've messed around with this a lot. An unbelievable amount. These are what I have found to be some of the best settings. So I'll just dwell here for a second so you can look, pause your video, whatever you need to do while that's rendering. So yeah, I think that's basically all there is to it. It's awfully simple when you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, it will take you several weeks to figure it all out. So hopefully I saved you a bunch of time and you can make some excellent stuff. This is Caleb from Practical Daz Advice. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Peace.